The city lies on the sandy isthmus, which is part of the eastern flank of the Bay of Gibraltar, and it limits with the Gibraltar-Spain border to the south. La Linea has close economic and social links with the British Overseas Territory of Gibraltar. The people of La Linea have traditionally found work in Gibraltar, from the days in the 18th century when Gibraltar was an important naval port. La Linea is a major supplier of fruit and vegetables to Gibraltar. Other industries include the manufacture of cork, liquor and fish paste. Gibraltar is a British overseas territory and city located at the southern tip of the Iberian Peninsula, on the Bay of Gibraltar, near the exit of the Mediterranean Sea into the Atlantic Ocean, also known as the Strait of Gibraltar. The landscape is dominated by the Rock of Gibraltar, at the foot of which is a densely populated town area, primarily Gibraltarians. Gibraltar is one of the most densely populated territories in the world, with a usually resident population in 2012 of 32,194. Approximately 72.1% of Gibraltarians are Roman Catholics. Gibraltar was founded as a permanent watchtower by the Almohads in 1160. It switched control between the Nasrids, Castilians and Marinids in the late Middle Ages, acquiring larger strategic clout upon the destruction of nearby Algeciras. It became again part of the Crown of Castile in 1462. In 1704, Anglo-Dutch forces captured Gibraltar from Spain during the War of the Spanish Succession, and it was ceded to Great Britain in perpetuity under the Treaty of Utrecht in 1713. It became an important base for the Royal Navy, particularly during the Napoleonic Wars and World War II, as it controlled the narrow entrance and exit to the Mediterranean Sea, the Strait of Gibraltar, with half the world's seaborne trade passing through it. The sovereignty of Gibraltar is a point of contention in Anglo-Spanish relations, as Spain asserts a claim to the territory. Gibraltarians overwhelmingly rejected proposals for Spanish sovereignty in a 1967 referendum and for shared sovereignty in a 2002 referendum. Nevertheless, Gibraltar maintains close economic and cultural links with Spain, with many Gibraltarians speaking Spanish, as well as a local dialect known as Lanito. Gibraltar's economy rests on financial services, e-gaming, tourism, and the port. With one of the world's lowest unemployment rates, the largest part of the labor force are resident in Spain or non-Gibraltarians, especially in the private sector. Since Brexit, Gibraltar is not a member of the European Union, but negotiations are underway to have it participate in the Schengen Agreement to facilitate border movements between Gibraltar and Spain. Gibraltar's terrain consists of the 1,398 feet Rock of Gibraltar made of Jurassic limestone and the narrow coastal lowland surrounding it. It contains many tunneled roads, most of which are still operated by the military and closed to the general public. Originally from the Atlas Mountains of Morocco, the Barbary macaque population in Gibraltar is the only wild monkey population on the European continent. The name Barbary refers to the Berber people of North Africa. The macaque population had also been present on the Rock of Gibraltar long before Gibraltar was captured by the British in 1704. It was during the Islamic period where a purported introduction may have taken place. They will often approach and sometimes climb onto people, as they are used to human interaction. Deliberately feeding the macaques in Gibraltar is now an offence. Anyone caught feeding the monkeys can be fined up to £4,000. The macaques receive a daily supply of fresh water and vegetables, fruit and seeds as supplement to natural food resources.
Boy, because he can be nasty. Do you think it's safe to go past him? Absolutely.
According to Alonso Hernández del Portillo, the first historian of Gibraltar, its name is derived from a similar grotto in Monte Gargano near the sanctuary of Monte Sant'Angelo in Apulia, Italy, where the Archangel Michael is said to have appeared. It is the most visited of the more than 150 caves found inside the Rock of Gibraltar, receiving almost 1 million visitors a year. The cave was created by rainwater slowly seeping through the limestone rock, turning into a weak carbonic acid which gradually dissolved the rock. Through this process, tiny cracks in the rock's geological fault grew into long passages and large caverns over thousands of years. The numerous stalactites and stalagmites in the cave are formed by an accumulation of traces of dissolved rock deposited by water dripping from the ground above. The largest of the chambers, named the Cathedral Cave, currently serves as an auditorium. It was converted due to the chamber's natural acoustic properties. It is equipped with a concrete stage and has a seating capacity of over 100. As the Rock of Gibraltar was thought to be one of the legendary pillars of Hercules, the ancient Greeks also believed the cave to be the gates of Hades, an entrance to the underworld. The tunnels were dug out from the solid limestone by the British during the Great Siege of Gibraltar of the late 18th century. The work was carried out by hand, mainly using sledgehammers and crowbars, aided by gunpowder blasts. The Great Siege of Gibraltar was an attempt by France and Spain to capture Gibraltar from Great Britain during the American Revolutionary War. Lasting from July 1779 to February 1783, it was the 14th and final siege of Gibraltar. Dudley Ward Way was built during the 1956 to 1968 period by the British Army. It is named after Sir Alfred Dudley Ward, Governor of Gibraltar from 1962 to 1965. The road running through the tunnel links the eastern side of the rock with Europa Point. Europa Point is the southernmost point of Gibraltar. Although not the southernmost point of the Iberian Peninsula, Europa Point defines the boundary between the Straits of Gibraltar in the Atlantic Ocean and the Alboran Sea within the Mediterranean. On a clear day, views of North Africa can be seen across the Strait of Gibraltar.